Alright guys, it is time for us to properly build a good dual-sided loadout. This has been requested in the past, and I've actually been toying with the idea of doing it properly myself, so I thought, you know what, where is the sweet spot, what can we do? And I've decided $2,000 is that sweet spot, and you can see already on the CT side of things, I have gone blue. You've got Specialist Agent Ava as the agent, which is $16, and then the Knife and Glove combo is Specialist Gloves Field Agent, $315, and then a Nomad Knife Blue Steel in the minimal wear is about $330. Now, before I break down this lovely CT side, let's have a look at today's sponsor. Today's video is sponsored by Skinport. If you didn't already know, Skinport is the best place to buy and sell your Counter-Strike skins with a fast, smooth, easy, and secure experience for both buyers and sellers. The big benefit is that prices are considerably cheaper compared to on the Steam market. For example, this M4A1S Hyper Beast is currently 21% cheaper on Skinport, giving you more value for money. They've also added an amazing 3D viewer for inspecting skins and charms. This means if I'm not able to jump into an inspect server, I can still fully check out the skin and decide on the purchase. On the selling side, Skinport can essentially act as a middleman for your trades. If you do a private listing on Skinport, the fee reduces to 2% and you can send the link directly to the buyer. So, with over 2 million skins available right now, no buying fees, and an excellent Trustpilot rating, Skinport has everything you need and more. Check out the link in the description, and thanks to Skinport for sponsoring today's video. So just to explain the decision making behind the combo, I think you can see already how well it comes together. The agent sleeves match so well with the gloves. The gloves are overall very clean and field tested. I initially priced them in minimal wear, but it made it a bit too much, which means you do get a little bit of wear on the thumb, but that is pattern based, so you can hump around, shop around a little bit for that. But overall, you get a knife that has some really nice animations. The blue steel finish is a bit more realistic, which is kind of cool, and it just had the rare animation. And then you got some very clean gloves, and that means that you're talking, what, like $650-ish to get agent and the knife and glove combo. It leaves you about $350 to spend on CT side if you're doing it in an exact like 1,000 split. Now, on this, I was thinking, do we do USP or do we do P2000? I think USP is still the most commonly used, and for that, I think you should be going for a Jawbreaker, which is just over the $10 mark in minimal wear. If you want to talk about pairings, it's got the blue, it's got the yellow, so it's perfect for the gloves. Now, P250, I did end up going towards the Valance. This is one of the ones where I was like, you know what, I want to focus the spend on the key weapon skins here, so we'll go super cheap, minimal wear at 17 cents. And it was the same kind of vibes to the Joe Bretta's. 10 cent minimal wear, Cobalt quotes are going to do things nicely. And if you can't tell, I am going to go through the full CT side first and then swap over to T. Now, you do get a lot of sort of perfect pairings here, and the 5.7 is a good example. Just over $2 for a field test of monkey business. The yellow and the blue are as close to perfect as you're going to get for like video game skins, and pairing them together, I think this is great. On the Deagle, I struggled for a perfect blue pairing, but I think it's hard to deny that going for the Cobalt Disruption is the right play. I love the Midnight Storm, but it's just the wrong type of blue to really pair in. And, you know, factory new Cobalt Disruption, $75. Since CS2 came out, it got that great sort of lighting buff, and it has really cool craft potential. Over in the mid-tier items, I went for the Starlight Protector for the MP9, which is about $5.50 in minimal wear. It is that white base, but you do get blues and golds throughout it, so I think it ties in pretty nicely overall and actually stands out a little bit. On the MP7, I went for the Sirius. It's super budget, it fits in nicely. You're not going to use the MP7 too much, at least if you're playing more competitive sort of nature things, and it's only 16 cents for minimal wear anyway. For the UMP, I spent a bit more than expected, but I went for Primal Saber, minimal wear for $4.42. If you don't use the UMP too much, you can save like half the cost here and just go for it in field test because it doesn't wear too badly. Now, Mag 7, I went for the Justice, and this might be a little bit of a tell where I go for the M4A for. This one also $4.61 for the Mag 7. It might be a bit much to spend if you don't use the Mag 7 much, so maybe you want to drop this down to like field test it as well. For the XM, you get a pretty nice cheap option. It's going to be the Quicksilver at 30 cents for minimal wear. I just think this is a pretty decent option. You'll use the XM maybe one round per game, right? Now, as much as I don't really have an agenda here for the half-tone wash, I am going to use it again. 26 cent minimum wear. By the way, all the prices here are from the 2nd of November, if you're wondering. Pattern-based skin, plenty of choices. It wears pretty nicely, so go take a pick. Now we're on to the meat and potatoes of the CT side, if you will. The main rifles. M4A1S, I'm going to go Hyper Beast. I think just looking at this right here as an idle combo is really nice. It's going to cost you pretty much $50. It comes in at $49, minimal wear. It looks the part. Some of the best artwork you're going to see on a rifle. big fan of this. As I alluded to, the Emperor is going to be the Emperor A4 of choice. Minimal wear for this also comes in at $32. Now, you could go field test to save about $20. You'll get some magazine wear, but I think this is where you do want to spend that money and get that really clean minimal wear. Again, just idle-wise, this honestly pairs in super nicely. Now, the AUG didn't have anything too crazy for me. Now, if you're an opera, maybe you have the SG Scout included, in which case go buy and have minimal wear Abyss. But I think the Tomcat 9-hit minimal wear will just cover us for the AUG. We're not going to use it too much. It doesn't clash too much. And then for the AWP, I actually wish I got to go with something a bit different, but it's going to be the AWP Ethereus that I go for here because of how nicely the blue base pairs in with everything. Just over $5 minimal wear, you get this really nice clean blue base with then some green accents to stand out, but you can see how the base of the gun actually pairs in with the gloves and the sleeves. And that means our CT side cost comes in at $850.60. So it leaves us just over $1,000 for the T side, which is probably actually more people want to spend on the AK and stuff, which makes sense. Now, this is the T side knife, agent, and glove combo, which I met already. I think this looks sick. Now, it is a flip knife. You can say what you want about flip knives because I have an agenda against them, but the sport gloves, field test Omegas, are going to be about $420. And that's accounting for overpay for a nicer float. You can see how nice they come out. And minimal wear flip knife lower is about $360. And then the agent is bloody Darryl the strap, the professionals, which is just under $40 right now. This is actually my gloves and my agent. And I also do use a lower knife, but I use a falchion. So very similar to my side. Now, this very quickly gets me to the conversation of I've obviously gone for blue for my CT, and I've gone for gold for my T side. Honestly, you can kind of pick between a nice range of colors. For me, the best options for this are blue, gold, which is why I've done them, and then red, and then also like a purpley pink comes in as a pretty solid option. Obviously, you could do black as well and probably save a lot of money and then spend heavy elsewhere, but those are kind of the four colors that have the most complete options that you can do nicely for this pricing. Green is a little bit tricky because you end up with a lot of camo stuff and maybe a Phase 2 Doppler or a Phase 3 Doppler, but weapon skins really let you down. Now, because this is so similar to my actual loadout, you're going to see lots of similarities. So, for example, the Ramesses reach for the Glock is going to be my suggestion here. Now, my one is factory new with a nice Godsend craft, but minimal wear for you guys, $8.10. That's the starting point anyway, and I think this pairs really nicely together. The P250 will come as a surprise because I'm actually going to suggest the See You Later, which has these like yellowy gold accents, which means you could also use just this P250 on CT side as well if you didn't like the balance too much because it's got the blue base. But the one option you would really have is the Apex Curse, and it's a little too pricey for me to suggest here. Now, I do suggest running a ZZ on T side, and for just over $5, you can get a minimal wear Syndicate, which honestly, you can see how nicely this pairs with the Omega gloves. And then, of course, we have to have a fuel injector, a field tested Type 9 is going to come in at just under the $3 mark, and I think it comes together super nicely. I use a Type 9 a lot of success with it, so you do want a nice Type 9 skin. Now, maybe a bit of surprise, I've actually gone for the Tilted for the Deagle here. Now, my reasoning for this is I know not many people love the Heirloom, which is what I would personally go for. So if you want a proper gold Deagle, you should be going for the Heirloom. It'll cost you like $10 factory new, something around that. But I'm going to go for the Tilted in factory new for about $4 because blue and gold do work together. And I think you've also got these gold bronze accents on the Tilted. If I can knock it the rare inspect, fucking please. Which kind of pair a little bit in. It's not perfect. The Deagle does let us down here because we'd be talking crazy money to go for anything else. But, you know, you can let me know your thoughts on that. Now, our first souvenir skin off the loadout is going to be the Mac 10 Gold Brick. Minimal wear, you can get this for $25. You can save $5, so if you go field test, it will start to pick up some chips, but this is actually a super nice skin, especially with gold stickers on it. Now, another one that actually kind of pairs for both of them, but I think works really well on the side, is the Just Smile. Gives me Joker vibes. Minimal wear is like $1.24, and it has lots of yellow accents on it, which pair into the yellow accents of the gloves. And you'll see me sort of interchange yellow and gold quite a bit, just with how options are in CS. And this here, this is a more true gold, I would say. This is the gold bismuth, $3.67. So you can see where the gold and the yellow has a bit of a difference. But I would also say that the gold knife is, let's say the lower knife is gold rather than yellow as well. Now, if we're being real, this MP5 skin, because I don't suggest you use it on CT, I think it's better on T, would be perfect on the CT side loadout. So if you do want to use it, it makes sense. But if you do want to hear, I think going for the MP5 agent is the best shout because of those yellow accents once again. I think when you're holding it in idle with the gloves and the agents like wristbands and stuff, or bracelets, that's the word I'm looking for, it comes together quite nicely. Now, a P90 skin I love. It's going to be the Scarab Rush. Obviously, it has a capital B to look like a B Rush. Battle Scarred gets Easter eggs on this. It's now getting closer to the $3 mark in Battle Scarred, and we're going to have Anubis drops come with the Shanghai Major in the next month. So hopefully we'll see a little bit of a price drop for these as well. Now, once again, the meat and the potatoes. Gail, I think you want to go for a metallic squeezer. It is pattern based, so you can get the gold in different areas. But overall, I think the fact it's just over $1 minimal wear, you can hunt for a pattern, whether it has a pattern that you like or just has the most color that you like, whatever. You can get one with lots of gold on it, and even the silver, I think, looks pretty cool. Now, the Tech 9 has to pair with the AK, and I've done that with the fuel injector, which is $160 for field test. And now, for me, fuel injector is one of those I'm not fussed about it having to be minimal wear, because you can see just how nicely it still looks in field test. And now at the end, you'll see we've got a little bit of buffer for budget, but to preface that, it's because you might want to go and pick up a nice sticker graph for this, and there's many good options. Like, even just check Skinport on the marketplace, you'll probably see a clatter of them. Now, an interesting one is going to be the SG, because I'm going to go for the hazard pay. I'm going to go for the souvenir version, which makes it just under $50 for the field test. And now, not many people use the SG, but this skin is really cool. The traffic on top is kind of nice. I personally think Vertigo is going to get removed and replaced by Train. I've been saying for the last 6-7 months or so that Vertigo should be getting removed. For the Scout, I've been off the idea of going for the big iron, although it's probably the correct pick. I want to go for the Death's Head. I just like the naming of it. I think pattern-based wise, or I think pattern-wise, it's pretty cool. Something a little bit different for the $6 mark. I say take your own path for the Scout if you really want to. And then finally, the Op. You may have expected me to go for the Man of War, but I hate that it doesn't get any scope detail, and so I am going to go for the Duality, which again is a nice budget Op. Both of them coming in around or under the $5 mark. Obviously, this has lots of gold accents for it. It's also got nice bits of like black and grey and silver, which pair in with the Omega. I think flicking between, maybe not the Deagle, but flicking between like the knife and the Op, you can really see a bit of like a consistent theme coming together, and it's super cool. Now, T-side cost-wise, this is just under the $1,100 mark for this whole T-side, which means the total loadout cost is $1,948, meaning we're actually $50 under budget, and I normally set like a 5 to 10% buffer, so you could have gone all the way to 2,200, for example. So really, you're definitely 50 under. You've probably got another little bit of buffer, let's say 100 if you go 5%. And the reason I built that buffer is because maybe you do want to get the Apex Curse for the PT50. Maybe that's the play you want to do. Or maybe you're an Op and you're like, damn, screw this, I want to go just get one Op skin that looks really nice on either side. Or like for the AK and the rifles, you want to be able to do crafts. I've kind of tried to leave that open for you, but I want you guys to let me know what you think of this concept, and if you want to see more like this, because I'm down to start doing more dual-sided loadouts, or I don't know if there's a better naming for them, but I'm calling them dual-sided loadouts. I'm already planning to do a cheaper one later this month, so if you're looking at it being like, yo, 2,000 is way too crazy, can we do one for less? I think I'm aiming to do one for under 1,000. That's the plan anyway, so let me know your thoughts on that, and if you are doing it, if there's any specific budgets or themes that you want to see. But outside of that one, I'm going to leave it there, guys. Hit the like button if you enjoyed it. Hit the subscribe button if you aren't here. We're getting close to 7,000 subscribers, so if we can try and hit that before the end of November, that would be absolutely crazy. And all the support on the way is very appreciated, as is the YouTube members. I want to say a big shout out to them. There's a few of you now that have been supporting the channel for multiple months, which is super appreciated. If you want to find out more about being a YouTube member, hit the join button down below. It won't charge you, but it'll give you the options, the pricing, and the perks, and all of that goodness. Shout out to Skinport for sponsoring, and I'm going to end it there. Memento is a lovely map. I'll catch you guys in the next one. Thank you for watching. Goodbye.